Oh, morning. It's a wee bit earlier than normal for me to film. Usually it's in the afternoon, but anyway, there's a reason. We're going to be getting a train into Glasgow, and we're going to be not just travelling to a city, but travelling through time. The bus from Glasgow bus station is at like 11:15. So yeah, we're going to be travelling not through miles just, but also we'll be travelling through time, through times when it was better. And I think, yeah, I think we should do that because it's going to be really good. So, just at the railway station, and I'll see you in a wee bit. Yep, we're on the train. It's going to take a while before we get into town, so instead of being bored as fuck, let's get on with the news. Sex news. Why most straight men wouldn't experiment. Now, on the surface of this topic, there's a fear of being called names and being outed. There is almost like a kind of self-pride. This guy talks about how he feels most men inside are a tiny bit homophobic. He talks about the theme of heteronormalistic norms, and he also talks a teeny bit about culture, college, and drugs. It is interesting. I'll have you on if two straight guys, maybe one guy looks at the other and he goes, whatever, fill your boots. If you're single and the other person's single, and then fucking fill your boots. News from the West Country. The guy who organised the statue to be pulled down in Bristol city centre is arrested. Ha! Serves him right. Shopping news. In Aberdeen, a Lidl employee has been caught committing a sex crime. It seems to be in the retail field. There's a lot of perverts hiding out. Like, mind these nonce busting groups, they have collected at least 10 different Asda colleagues up and down the country, and Child Protector Scotland had nabbed Taruk from Clydebank Asda. It is known knowledge that there is another 3 perverts in the same branch of Clydebank Asda. Additionally, there is another making the total 5, but he died. I think management in Clydebank Asda should have a really, really strong think. It's just a countdown until somebody, i.e. a customer, gets raped. Glasgow news. The fake American accent that a lot of Glasgow uni people put about with, but also hipsters, is actually now the reason places like Moore and the garage are knocking people back. About fucking time and all, because that fake American accent must have been hell of a patronising to real American people. And the last bit of news, Transformers news. A 14-year-old boy drinks gasoline, which is petrol, to become Optimus Prime. There are a few problems with this, apart from him wrecking his body. Optimus Prime and any of the other Transformers run on Energon. And if you want to split hairs even further, trucks run on diesel, or sometimes an additional additive called AdBlue. For him to think drinking petrol is going to get him to be Optimus Prime, he's straight up deluded. According to the medical team looking after this boy, he has wrecked his IQ since drinking the petrol and thinking he's going to become Optimus Prime. I just wonder where his IQ level was in the fucking first place. See, these buses actually now feel like a second home to me. I'm on them myself. Another home from a home, I could call it, is a TB service station, and that's the midpoint in the bus journey. The driver pulls over, stops for half an hour, and tea and coffee and all that stuff. TV service is lovely during the day, but slightly naughty at night, hashtag dogging and all that shit, so yeah, anyone wanting a nighttime thrill, come down to TV.
5 hours later.
Ask this because some people look as tasty and aesthetically pleasing as the meals that come out of this restaurant. The first Ask is a Ford Mustang, powerhouse of speed, powerful engine, elegant motions, aesthetically pleasing. And if you look round the back, come on, let's have a look round the back. That car actually has an ass. Not a bad one at cost. Let's be honest, I mean, if I was in the lap dance place and there was this kind of ass getting twerked at me, I'd twerk my hand into my pocket, get the credit card and say, have all of it. The next person who asks this is Fern Britton. She's a powerful presenter. She doesn't hide her emotions. She looks great in daytime TV shows, great in kind of street fashion, and she's an all-round fantastic person. Now, next Ask this, not really my opinion, it's quite a few opinions. 4chan, they say Vault Boy looks cute. I can't really confirm or deny it, because I only see Vault Boy when I load up Fallout 4. That's my go-to game at this point in time. The next person for Ask this is Tracer, and that's Tracer from the Overwatch series. She moves fast, she's well dressed, she has great looks, and some people have spent a wee bit longer looking at ass. If you're looking at computer imagery and starting to get hard on that shit, you're a pervert. Next, you might say bot for Ask this is Bumblebee. He is a very skilled and valiant fighter within the Autobots. He looks great, his car mode looks great, and actually he does have an ass. It looks pretty damn good. If I was a fembot, I'd let him do whatever. The next for Ask this is Batman. Muscle bound. He's always very wise, dark, and brooding. Let's be honest, if Batman had a hard day and he's coming away from whatever the scenario was and he wanted a bit of something and I was available, I'd be a fucking idiot to turn him down. A number 1 first bus being covered by a bus that's painted up in number 9 paint job, because labels are for fucking idiots and you can dream to be whatever you want to be. Thug life. Getting on a real replacement coach and giving the public fingers because you're actually more superior than them. Look at me go, how fast I am. Thug life.
Move, bitch, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch, get out the way.
My Uber has arrived. I was going to use the ScotRail train, but that's a lot of shite. Like that. Thug life.
They will all fail. Like in many parts of life, there are ups and there are downs. I feel virtue signalling whilst not having very much knowledge of the topic. And in this topic, the person's talking about an incident that happened in the Park Inn Hotel in Glasgow. And let's be honest, nobody knows what happened on the days leading to that grisly incident. To try and talk about it like he knew what conditions were inside or the mental state of the guy is truly, truly wrong. It needs to stop. I win banter, burns, and painful outcomes. Banter burns on social media absolutely hilarious, and painful outcomes can be even more hilarious, and the reason why it's being called painful. I win fast food uploads. I'm talking about when people upload pictures of fast food onto their Facebook and it looks fantastic when you're sober and it looks even more fantastic when you're stoned, and it sometimes inspires you what to cook for that night. What I'm about to talk about next is not a win or a fail. It's more like, what the fuck? Wish shopping is a online service. You can buy some fairly weird, dubious shit. Oddly enough, it's not illegal to buy half this shit. They even sell crack pipes. How is that actually able to cross over the borders with no problem? I bought a motocross helmet. It should have been a Rockstar one. They sent one that was just generic and unbranded. I failed Glasgow Mad Squad Facebook page having the video of a young kid throwing a police officer into a lock. Yeah, it's funny for car crash comedy sake, but ultimately that police officer that got flung into the water could be a mother, a grandfather, a niece, a nephew, a new starting to constabulary. If anybody is liking and sharing this shit, you need to get your fucking head tested. Another fail, anti-English sentiment. I've been saying this pretty much nigh on every episode, this bloody, this shite, it gets posted all over Facebook. It's been in light of the kind of referendum. These people that are sharing anti-English sentiment are exactly the same people that are sharing stuff to do with BLM and love, music, hate, racism, but you can't stand talking to someone on the opposite end of your country. Oh, come on, get a grip, you cunt. I fail misleading advertisements. Now, in this case, this promoter's talking about doing a comedy show post-COVID. Now, let's get things right, number one. We're in stage 3. We were going to be in stage 4, but let's say a few hiccups have happened and we're still in stage 3. COVID still exists. It's not a win or a fail, it's a take care. It's called the Whale Challenge, and basically it's like a 50 or so day challenge where people have to deprive themselves of food, self-harm, try an attempt at suicide. Whale leaders do things like coercion to get the person to do it. They're at least over 18 and they prey on young, impressionable people like teenagers. As a young boy in North Lanarkshire, his wrists are an absolute wreck. His mother just intervened just in the right time to see her son alive, but unfortunately her and her son are going to have to go through years of going to these mental health resource centres. The boy is a wreck of himself compared to where he was. He's bubbly and vivacious and characterful, but now he's a shell of himself. It might be it's so serious he might not be able to go to school for a while. Check even your brothers and sisters' devices, check your niece's devices, check your son and daughter's devices. That 5-minute check could actually stop a decade and more of pain.
BT Openreach, proud sponsors of hardcore pornography.
Okay, the viewpoint for this episode is the YouTuber's sanity toolbox, I call it. And yeah, Facebook and YouTube are quite similar. It can be very fun, it can be very productive, it can be great engaging with people, gaining subscribers, comments, messages, and all that stuff. But like Facebook, there can be the occasional spam. I want to talk about some things that actually keep my sanity. I want to say first of all, see the thumb up or the thumb down thing. That doesn't mean nothing. You don't even need an account to actually thumb down a video. A thumb up, you need the account. It doesn't really indicate what's going right or what's going wrong. It's more kind of like, well, whatever. It's kind of more childish, really. The comments sometimes more help with what's went right and what's went wrong. Also, comments, like any post you see on Facebook, you can find some twatty comments, and the best thing you can do is not rise to any of the people. The best thing you can do is first of all delete the comments, and also add on a thing called comment moderation. That just basically means if someone comments, you actually have to approve the comments in to the video, and at that point when someone's going to put something twatty on a YouTube video,
quite often, as soon as they see this comment's getting flagged for approval, they take the comment down because they know it's going to be a sincere waste of time. Yeah, I mean, I had one or two comments once along the lines of, "Stop deleting my comments, you bastard." In actual fact, I don't delete comments. I go into comment approval. The ones that are suitable, they can stay up. The ones that are deemed potentially inappropriate, well, they don't even get a chance to be existing, let alone being deleted. Also, the message system on YouTube has now gone, so that actually eliminates the potential of having people sending you abusive messages at 5 o'clock in the morning. I mean, like 5 o'clock in the morning, then most people are either coming back from a shift, or going out to a shift, or sleeping. You know, 5 AM is a beautiful time to have to yourself instead of clicking the house. Anywho. Well, thank fuck all of that travelling's over and done with. We're finally here, and I've actually got a mate. Haha! That's funny. I do have mates.
What?
They're not imaginary. Here he is, Bumblebee. Hiya, pal. So, what do you think of these, like, Transformers type conventions?
And yeah, I love these Transformers conventions. It helps people get to know who we are. But most importantly, it gets me away from the office for a day or two.
Yeah.
The office is a reference to Cybertron.
That is a pretty interesting thought. Anywho, folks, enough of the chatting. We're going to go into this.
But my hope will never die.
That movie surprised everyone, and they stayed on the shelves much longer than anybody thought they would, thus delaying the release of the Transformers animated toys to chagrin the ball.
What I've done for 45 years. The long form is usually called by the name Impro. We have a lot of theater sports and Impro here in England and throughout Europe. It's really, really big. My dearest friend Patty Styles is second in command to improv all over the world there.
Welcome on board Virgin Trains.
The first flashback is Virgin Trains, and the next
Calling at
is me doing stand-up comedy.
Haymarket.
So, you're just in time for our second act. Are you ready for him? Andrew Vannan, are you ready to be the second act? Yeah, he is. So, have a guess what his favourite game is. And, ladies and gentlemen, it's Mr. Andrew Vannan.
There was a friend of mine, he said to me, I'll give you a copy of Wreck-It Ralph on DVD. And as soon as I put it in my Blu-ray, Disney work.
Oh.
What is a snowman's best computer game?
Dave's gone.
Sort out 4. I do a lot of wanderlust, you know, travelling up and down south, and that's not what she said, but anyway, travelling up and down south, but this weekend I decided to go to London on the coach. And I could tell how it was going to be going by the conversation the two coach drivers had. Because one driver said to the other, I fucking hate him, you know that, I fucking hate him. See if this bus breaks down when we're on the way to London, I'm going to shove it up John's arse. You're going to shove a coach up John's arse. John, whoever the fuck you are, I don't envy your position. Like, think about it, right? Last time I knew about things that go up the arse, things go up the arse through sexual excitement, energy, sex. You don't shove things up the arse because you don't like it or you don't think it's adequate. I mean, like, last I knew, the things got shoved up the arse during romance, sex, good times, good feelings. And more to the point, like, a triaxle coach, nearly 16 tons, going 62 miles an hour towards someone's arse. It's not going to be a simple rupturing. It's going to be fucking death! Like, I didn't see that film for Shades of Grey. So and then when I got into London, I went into the toilet at Hyde Park. And as I had my knob out, pissing away, blah blah blah, I read this thing called Toilet Fun, then supplied a number. Toilet Fun? Toilet Fun? What can you... what... Toilet Fun? I mean, what kind of fucking fun can you have in a toilet? Like, fucking seriously, like, I don't know, is that like running to the nearest Hamleys, get a wee Matchbox car, run it up and down the walls and round the wash sinks and everything? Or is that doing, you know, X and O on the wall with somebody you don't know, but looks moderately hot? What is that to do? I mean, is that maybe doing a wee bit of Sudokus while you're firing at a job, eh? Who knows? But yeah, I never got to the bottom end of that one, to be perfectly honest, by the time I got back to London. Aye, comic books, right? A guy that's been very, very famous over the years, Prince Adam, also known as He-Man, and many people love him. And other people are still today even debating his sexuality. To be honest, I don't care what he fucks at me, right? As long as he enjoys it, right? But I'm more interested about a fucking hand puppet. Orko the fucking hand puppet. How many hands have been of that dirty slag? Is Orko the puppet equivalent of Spaghetti Junction, also known as Gravelly Interchange? Who knows? But one word to that Orko puppet. Who's a cow now? So yeah, there was this math teacher. He was brilliant. He was a really good guy, and exactly what you need to be a math teacher. But also on his outside life, he was a bit of a womanizer. You know, he was a bit of a math diver.
Aww. Hi folks, and thank you for watching another episode of One Vannan on Camera. I just want to tell you something right away. We have smashed our 20,000 view count. We've also smashed our 21,000 view count, and we're getting very close to smashing our 22,000 view count. And I just want to say thanks to all who have watched, who have subscribed, who have shared, who have put comments, and anything else, who have shared through their family, shared through their social networks. You know, that phrase, sharing is caring, is pretty much a true translation right there. But I just want to say thanks, and I wouldn't have been in this position if it wasn't for you guys, so my humblest thanks, and I'll continue to provide video entertainment for you as much as I can. And I just want to say again, honestly, thank you. Right, so what's happening for the next episode? To be honest, I don't know. It just depends on the kind of lockdown legislations and rules and regs and stuff like that. But hopefully I'll maybe take you as a walk or something like that. But I wanted in this episode to go back in time to when times were good and show you some of the good times. So I hope you've enjoyed, and honestly, I just want to say thank you to you all. As I said, don't know what's happening for September, but there is an episode going to happen. Don't know what's going to be going on in it. If you haven't already, subscribe to the Facebook page, One Vannan, One Camera, and you might be able to get a wee heads up. So, if that all said and done, catch